Hi, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to talk about a classic book that I have read a few times, and that book is the Epic of Gilgamesh. I have 3 different versions here that I have read. All 3 of them are really good, and they're by different translators. The Epic of Gilgamesh is a very ancient story. It goes back, it was written about 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. And it tells the story of Gilgamesh and his journeys. It's a really good book. I first read it in college. And the Penguin Classics edition is a really good one. This thinner one would be a good one to start with. It's an easy to read translation. I will be putting ISBNs to all of these in the description for the video. This one is not laid out in verse, it's just regular paragraphs. But it's a really good one. Another really good one is this thicker Penguin one, which has more articles and stuff in it about the Epic of Gilgamesh, and it's laid out more like poetry, which the Epic of Gilgamesh is an epic poem. So this one's really good too. And this one has the tablet number and the line number for each stanza, I think is what it's called. This one's really good. It even has some artwork in one section of it here. Where was it? I just saw it. Like here's an example of what one of the tablets looks like. So there's that one. And then this one is another really good one. This one is translated by Danny P. Jackson. And this one is really cool too. After you get past the introduction, which has some pictures in it, so you can see some of the archaeology involved in the study of, I think this is from originally written in Babylon, in the city of Ur of Babylon, which is where Abraham from the Bible is from. And so here we go. It tells you the column number on the tablet, the line number, and it tells you the tablet number. So if you were doing like a really deep dive into the Epic of Gilgamesh, like if you want to be able to find out what's on tablet 10, column 2, you'd be able to look it up that way. So that's a really neat thing about it. And then each tablet is like its own chapter. This one's really good too. All 3 of these are really good versions. The thicker Penguin one was translated by Andrew George, and the thinner one was translated by N.K. Sandars. So if you were wondering who the translators were. This is a really good book. It's a short book. The main reason this one is so thick is because of all the introductory articles and academic stuff in it. And these other 2 are thinner because there's not as much academic stuff in it, but the poem itself is not terribly long. I think the first time I read the Epic of Gilgamesh, I think I read the whole thing in like a day. So it doesn't take terribly long to read the Epic of Gilgamesh. So if you want to start getting into classic books, this might be a good one because this is an ancient classic. But it's a really worthwhile read, especially if you read the Bible, because there's a flood story in here that has elements that are similar to what you find in the Bible. In fact, some of the study Bibles I have talk about tablet 10 or 11. I can't remember if it's 10 or 11, which has the flood story in it. So they mention the Epic of Gilgamesh in some study Bibles. So it's well worth reading ancient literature like this. I will do some more reviews of other Penguin Classic books coming up, but this is a good one to start with because it's short, and if you really like the Bible, you'll find the story to be familiar as far as structure. But like I said, it's an epic poem, and of the ancient books that I read, it's one of my favorites. The Bible, I absolutely love the Bible, being that I'm a Christian. Yeah, I thought this was a really good read. I was so glad when my professor in college recommended that. He not only recommended that we read it, we actually discussed it in class. That was one of the best discussions I've ever had in an English class in my life. So, yeah, this is one of my favorite books. I highly recommend it. But if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But if you enjoy reading ancient literature or you really love the Bible, this would be a good one to read. I will put the ISBNs in the video description, and I'll put links to where you can find them on Amazon. I don't have an affiliation with Amazon or anything, but to make it easier for you to find, I will put links to these from Amazon if they're still available on Amazon, because I think this thinner one is the older one, this thinnest one. Also, you can check your local library and see if they have a copy of the Epic of Gilgamesh. That's another way to do it. That's how I found out about this version, was through the local library, and I liked it so much I bought a copy of it because this translation was so clear, and the archaeology stuff in the front is something really cool that I think it's cool because I studied anthropology in college. So yeah, the Epic of Gilgamesh, it's worth reading. I'll see you in the next video.